Portia? No, I did not. Well, I wasn't around in the 60s. Though I use really great eye cream. I was not around in the 60s, so I was not there present. My parents love him, and I've not watched the TV show, and I chose not to after I got cast as something that would be helpful to me. You know, our show is so different in style and format, so it wasn't something that I wanted to watch. But it's cool being the third actor in history to do a live-action Riddler. I know that Frank's performance was lauded and appreciated, so I have great respect for that. I hope I'm doing something as well-crafted and skilled, but certainly identifiably mine.
In this show, we finally see Edward Nygma get a love interest. How fun is that to do something for the show that's never really been seen before?
It's nice. It's really nice. I had someone on Twitter after the first episode with Kristen Kringle aired saying, "This is so wrong. We never see the Riddler with any women." And I said, well, maybe there's a reason why. Maybe something, we're telling the origin stories. It's like, why do you never see the Riddler with a female other than his with Query and Echo, Why is that? Maybe something went horribly wrong early on with women and he decided that's not for him. He has other things he wants. So it's been really exciting for me. And also, we were spending so much time with him in the office, him as a forensic scientist or technician, dealing with his job in the department. It was really nice to see, for me to get to step out of his duties in forensics and not just have to memorize the big words, these really challenging sentences, but actually engage with someone in a that's a love interest. Also, something that was really important to me was starting him as a boy, letting him turning into a man, and it's really nice to be able to use this love interest to show his social ineptitude for me. It's a really cool way to show how much he doesn't understand people.
How did you create the character?
How do what?
How did you create the character from comics? Since you said you didn't watch the old TV shows, how did you sort of fill it in?
Well, the comics are our Bible. So, I have comics from every decade that's been around. And I watched cartoons when I was a kid, so I have that a little bit. But in terms of visuals, I just have still pictures really in my head. So what I wanted to do was create a character that could become that could fit into the very, very wide chasm of Riddler personalities, which is fun and game showman, blah blah blah, just playing tricks, to the Riddler that's in one of my favorite comics, which is the Riddle Factory, where he creates this game show. He chooses one person from Gotham to humiliate, and that person commits suicide every time. That's really terrifying. So I wanted to create a character that could eventually be any of these things. And what's really exciting is during the end of season 1, you start to see this human being who loves his games, loves his riddles, but you start to see the flash of really, really intense psychosis and really haunting, hopefully terrifying behavior, self-loathing.
So, preparing to finally meet the Penguin, how did you guys go about that?
Oh man, I got so excited when I read that. Robin nor I knew that it was coming, and he and I become really good friends, and we love each other's work. So that was a fun day. It was just super charged. I think of most of the scenes that I've done, except maybe a couple of them, it was an incredible moment for the two of us to be able to exist in this universe and create history, really. You know, the first time these two amazing characters actually got to meet. So we felt a very intense responsibility to not mess it up. You know, because we read it and I was like, this could go like 6 different ways. When we walk away from this exchange, where should we be? We wanted it to be open enough. We wanted it to be charged, but open enough that like no one necessarily wins. You know, that the power dynamic is a little up in the air, that it's clearly antagonistic, but no one really has the upper hand.
Who wins, in your opinion?
That exchange?
No, everything. Penguin versus the Riddler.
The Riddler. He's smarter. Penguin is perhaps more ruthless. Smarter.
As a kid, was Riddler always one of your favorite characters, or was there another character that caught your eye that you
Actually, I mean, I favored Batman, Bruce Wayne, as a kid. I just like the idea of a hero that's, I don't know. What I love about Batman is that it's about psychology and not superpowers. And the psychology of someone who lost their parents, is wealthy, and decides to create this identity in this world to help people, but it's not clean. It's really interesting. So that was my favorite. I was a good boy from Ohio. I just wanted to cheer on the good guys.
What's it been like interacting with the fans, not only at WonderCon and at the cons, but also social media?
It's awesome. Twitter has been really fun. I was not on Twitter before the show. I was very apprehensive about being on it, and it's been a real treat. The fan art is insane. I had someone tweet me a picture of a 16 gauge cross stitch that they made of my face. I was like, that takes so much time and so much energy. It's amazing. It's really flattering. It's really cool. You know, my getting into acting was not to like have a fan base, but to tell stories and to hopefully, let people feel something or have more empathy or relive an experience or whatever. What I didn't conceive was being a part of a franchise that people are really, really passionate about. That just wasn't in my, I didn't see that as necessarily part of my path. And so it's been really cool to experience being an actor in a different capacity that lets people come together of a shared interest, something that's been around for 75 years, and also to inspire other art. Like, it's been amazing for me to participate in something that people want to draw or paint or do cross stitch. That's just, it wasn't something that I thought that I would inspire in people, but it's really cool.